Welcome to Discover Janesville. My name is Yuri Rashkin, and today we are guests at Speakeasy Restaurant here in downtown Janesville. My next guest is Frank Fiore, and Frank is a musician working in Janesville. Frank, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you're a musician in Janesville. You work, perform. Talk a little bit about what you play and venues and opportunities that you have to perform.
Well, I'm a guitarist and I sing, and I play in a band too, and I just like to entertain. I've been playing guitar for a long time, and
what made you think that you wanted to be a professional gigging musician, that making that your main source? Or?
You know, it's not my first profession. I went to college, I went to law school, I graduated law school, got a job in law, worked for the government, and
it just sounds like terrible, terrible downhill kind of a story, doesn't it?
Absolutely horrendous. Yeah, and but all along I've developed an interest in jazz, and I started when I was in Milwaukee with my first law job. I saw a couple of good jazz groups down there and got really interested in it, and saw a guitar player named Michael Sullivan. He was playing at the Midway Motor Lodge, which at that time was at Highway 94, and I believe that was 108th Street probably.
There will be a test at the end.
I hope everybody's taking all this down,
right.
But anyway, I said, man, I want to play just like you do. And he says,
did you play at all at the time?
Oh, no, well, I was playing guitar, and I'd been playing, in country bands and, rock and roll type of bands and stuff like that with friends over the years. But jazz is another thing, as you know. And so I asked Mr. Sullivan, he was playing guitar that night, I said, hey, I'm really interested, I'd like to know how you do that, how you do what you're doing. And he goes, well, here's my card, I work over at Walker Music in Wauwatosa. So I took 5 years of lessons with him, and just developed the art. Went to school at Milwaukee area Technical College, occupational music. So when you graduate from that, you're supposed to use music as an occupation. But
I wonder if you can combine law and music together.
Well, I guess you could.
In productive ways.
It'd be difficult, but I guess I could always represent myself, write my own contracts out, and
right. Or you could write rock operas about attorneys.
Yeah, there's all things you can definitely combine the two. I still do some law practice. I take Social Security disability cases, and just as a supplement to my musical income.
Cool. And which bands do you play with?
Well, right now I'm playing with a band called Deep Water, and they play classic country, current country, classic rock and roll, and oldies and things like that. We're a four-piece band, and we play a lot at a place in Evansville called the Red Barn. We played at Wiggy's, and we played at a place called the Music Room, and just a number of places all around town, and we go as far as Belvedere and Rockford and Freeport, Illinois.
That's like on the other side of the planet.
It is. Yeah, I just happened to run into you down there at Freeport playing in a nice restaurant.
Cool. And you have a CD.
Yeah.
And how did you go about putting this together? Did you just record this on your own? Did you approach somebody else to? I mean, I presume you didn't do the picture yourself. Somebody took the picture, but. Tell me about putting together a CD. What that's like.
Well, this CD is it's really just a promotional DVD, and it's free for nothing. So if you come to one of my shows, I probably have a pile of these behind my equipment, and just come and get it. It's got 2 songs.
So you won't be arrested for stealing them because they're actually you're trying to give them away.
That's right, that's right. But it gives you an idea what I sound like when I play acoustic stuff and when I play some jazz stuff.
What would you say to somebody who is looking to maybe become a guitar player and start their own band and go out there and change the world?
I think the most important thing is desire. You know, people can be born with some natural ability, but I think the desire takes that natural ability, and you can build on it with that. and the students, as you know, you teach piano, and you can tell the students who have the desire, no matter what level they're at, you can tell that they're going to be good because they're going to practice at least 15 minutes every day. And that's what I would say to do. I'd say if you have the passion for the instrument, it's a great thing to do. It's a great pastime, and you get too involved in it, you may end up trying to make it, you know, as a musician for a living.
Frank, how long have you been a professional musician?
Well, you know, by definition, I suppose, if you get money to play, I've been doing that since 1982. That was my first.
There you go. You don't need a license to play music, you know. You don't need to register with anybody. So you're professional when somebody pays you.
Exactly.
That's right. Okay.
That's right. So we played at some small bars. It was a country band, and we played oldies there and rock and roll also. And we played in the suburbs of Chicago, near Lisle, Downers Grove, you know, Westmont, Bolingbrook, that area.
And that was 1982. 82.
It was my last year at law school when I did that. And over the years, played various bars at various levels. But I'd say within the last 3 years, I started concentrating on, you know, playing more towards earning a living in this area, you know, this Janesville area mostly. So it's only been, you know, 3 or 4 years that I've been doing this.
So to go back to the CD, I was curious, if somebody is thinking about putting together a CD, how would they go about doing that based on your experience?
Well, you know, I think I'd probably do a search, you know, on the internet for musical production, and I would look, you know, in your area, obviously. And I found this place called Comtech down in Rockford. Great place. They have a nice little studio, some really good people to work with. And they'll film you there, they'll record you there, and they'll put this thing together.
Clearly they did this to you.
They did it to me. And so, and then, you know, you set the website up with it and mix it all together, and you get a nice present. I really like this one photo that she took of me, so I ended up putting on my business cards also.
Well, if you find a good photo, might as well use it.
Yeah, I know, they're very rare in my case.
And you have a website.
Mm-hmm.
You have. How do you let people know that you exist as a musician? How do you let people know?
Well, one of the best ways, I think, to get your name around is to get your ad in the Kicks section in the Janesville Gazette. You know, that's where people will see your name, you know, listed under. For me, I'm listed under acoustic. And yeah, I think that's the best way.
Which is only partially true.
Right, I do jazz, you know, I do country, rock and roll,
Right,
about
right. But
everything.
under acoustic, usually you can find Frank Fiore playing somewhere in Janesville.
Well, hopefully, yeah. Like Russ's Coffee Shop, right here, played here Friday. It was a really nice time here Friday. Thank you for coming to see me, by the way. There's lots of nice restaurants. I try to shoot for doing those kind of gigs.
What do you think about music scene in Janesville? Do you think this is something that has room to grow, something that's coming, kind of getting its own feel, or because you play in other communities around? And how would Janesville music scene compare, do you think?
Well, you know, I guess the biggest other venue that I played around would have been Milwaukee. And, you know, even Milwaukee, it's difficult to find live music before Thursday night for the weekend. So I would say Janesville's doing pretty well. And you could find a whole lot of different types of music if you look it up and try to find it here. And I think Janesville, the downtown is getting a lot hipper, and nice new places opening up, and a lot of them are trying to have music, and I think it looks up. I'd love to stay here. I don't have to go too far out of this area to work pretty regularly, which is something I really like. It's easy to get around. The mileage is low, you know.
That's right. And we're in the middle of everywhere, so you can play in all those places and still be here too.
This is the geographic center of the United States. Janesville is, by the way.
It is?
Yeah, statistically.
I'll have to write this down. According to Frank Fiore, we are in the middle of the planet.
I think I'm the only source for that fact, but yes.